Injury prevention, first and foremost for skiers and snowboarders is you really have to be realistic and ski within your ability level and understand your limits. We're fortunate to have very large mountain ranges in our backyard, and that provides a wide range of terrain. And it's easy to get off the beaten path a little further than you expect. And if you're not being careful and skiing within your limits, you definitely can get yourself into trouble. A lot of problems and injuries occur because of muscle fatigue. So we wait all summer for those who love skiing, and finally the snow starts to fall and the temperatures drop and the snow base is good, so we get out on the skis and we haven't really prepared ourselves for that activity. So doing things like squat exercises, using things that avoid impact like elliptical machines and or exercise bikes to really get your quadriceps fitness and endurance level high. Then if you add to that some core strength and stabilization exercises, you'll be ready to tackle the hill when the snow flies. Most of the time the injuries occur toward the end of the day. When people get tired, they want to get that extra run or two in, and they don't realize how much they've actually put themselves through already, especially if it's their first few days out in the season. As the season wears on, people get accommodated to the activity, and we don't see as many injuries late in the season as we do in the very beginning. The other things that people sometimes get in trouble with out on the hill is that they haven't had their equipment checked. So having your ski bindings and your skis checked and tuned once a year so that your certified ski shop can tell you that your equipment's ready to go, that has a huge impact on avoiding those injuries, especially related to when the ski gets stuck and you twist. Because if the binding releases, your knee's going to release out with it and not be subject to that fixed load, and you won't tear things as easily. The other thing that also goes a long way when you're out on the hill is that it's a cold environment, and we go from summer or fall to winter, and people don't appreciate how easy it is to get dehydrated. And if you're dehydrated out on the hill, your muscles don't have the amount of water they need in their system to function properly for you. So dehydration can not only be dangerous, but it also predisposes you to muscle and ligament injuries. One of the most common things we see on a regular basis in our clinic here in Tacoma at the base of Crystal Mountain are clavicle fractures. The clavicle actually is more commonly known as the collarbone, and that basically helps connect the shoulder to the chest. And so when you land on your shoulder, if your shoulder joint hopefully stays in socket, a lot of times that force of hitting the ground, or hopefully not, but hitting a tree, gets transmitted up along the collarbone. And it's that compression of a long bone that causes it to usually splinter in the middle. Also with skiing, because you can have the tendency to cross your tips and get your legs tangled up if your ski gets stuck in the snow, or if you lose your balance, we see a lot of ligament and cartilage tears in the knee. The common one being the ACL can be torn if the tips cross and your skis get stuck and then your leg twists one way and your body goes the other way. You can often tear the central ligament in the knee, commonly known as the ACL, which many skiers have injured that ligament over the years. One of the other injuries that we see commonly in the knee with skiers are injuries to the shock absorber or the meniscus in the knee, which is a C-shaped cartilage that sits between the two weight-bearing bones of the knee. That again, if your ski gets stuck because of how the boot is locked into the binding, if your energy's going one way and your foot is going the other way, if your ACL holds, a lot of times people will feel a pop or a tearing sensation in their knee, and they've actually torn that cartilage. So again, skiing within your limits, knowing what you're capable of on the hill, and ski the harder stuff as you get better and as the season progresses, and you'll typically stay out of trouble.